Hello everyone. It's James again. And before I start today's video, I just want to quickly say, all work in this video contains 100% original content of and by myself James Smith, otherwise known as Bgood 4000, and was uniquely created with NAWMAL software, by myself James Smith. As I purchased commercial rights from NAWMAL to produce my unique and original video with this software. Commentary is uniquely my own thoughts, feelings, and expressions. Now that I have that out of the way, I do hope your day is going way better than fantastic and your journey to self-betterment is going way better than fantastic as well. Today, I want to talk about something very important. And it's regarding a question that was asked in the comment section. And that's how can someone prevent narcissism in young people? So here's the thing. From what a great many people believe, and I believe this too as well, narcissism can have two origins. Two origins that often play a role today in narcissism. And those two origins are nature and nurture. You see, I believe that narcissism is often passed down to a narcissist's child that is most susceptible. I've talked about before how most narcissist parents, I believe, test their children to see who will go along with their gaslighting, projection and so on, just to get what they think is love from their narcissist parent or parents. The one that poses the most difficulty to get to go along with this. They usually have strong empathy. And it's hard for them to go along with these certain wrongs. Now that doesn't mean they are perfect. Far from it. As even these morally decent people do wrong things all the time. Especially if they are young and trying to figure out the world. But they have something inside of them that makes them feel in a bad way for these wrongs, if that makes sense. Well, there are some out there, I believe. And this is just my belief. They may not be a complete and utter psychopath. Regarding this tip I'm about ready to describe. But this child is born a little bit different. Their empathy levels aren't as high. And they might have some dullness to certain things. Meaning, they don't feel bad when they see others emotionally hurt, let's just say. And yet, though this is the case, they still are emotional because they oftentimes sway the way of the narcissist parent or parents for what they think is love. Like they are somehow going to get the prize at the end of going the route these so-called parents want them to go on. But here's the main question. What would happen if you take such a person? Someone that's not a psychopath per se but has some differences, let's just say here and there, that might make them more susceptible to becoming a narcissist or worse. Possibly even a psychopath. Love. Love. You see, I've talked about a few times. There is a doctor. And you can find his video here on YouTube, where he studied the brains of psychopaths that have done some of the worst things imaginable. But then something happened. He discovered he had some people in his family that did some of these same horrific things that he was learning and teaching. So much so there were press clippings about this family he had no idea about. So what did he do? He went to have his brain scanned to see if the same markers he studied on some of these psychopaths were present for him as well. And sure enough, they were. He had the exact same brain type of a psychopath. Yet, he wasn't. Yet he was a loving, caring and thoughtful teacher and doctor. Then he looked at his childhood. He was raised primarily by his grandmother, if I'm not mistaken. A grandmother that knew the horrible nature of his family. And kept him from it. And treated him with love. And taught him from an early age to be thoughtful of others and why it was important. And he then realized. Wait. Yes. The genetic component was there and is there. But it was the loving and thoughtful upbringing that prevented this terrible genetic component from becoming active. Now, though he's a loving person and a thoughtful person, he said he now understands why certain things he's just numb about. Or he has little feeling about. He now has answers to that. But he also has answers why he's a decent person to this day. Now, what if you are a great parent? You are doing your best and you are watching out for signs of narcissism, such as not caring about how your actions affect others. And I think that would be the biggest sign of all for young people. Because when a child is young, that's one of the parents' first jobs normally, to teach them they aren't the only ones in the world and to be nice to others and why. That's how you have polite kids and sadly kids that are impolite. If you are teaching your children early on how to not only love and respect themselves but how to being at bare minimum kind and polite to others. And that, how would you feel if someone broke your toy? You would be upset, right? Well, Tommy or Lori is probably upset right now you broke their toy. Empathy is the key. And those are the lessons where they learn them. But you can't take your foot off of the gas. You have to keep teaching them and teaching them and teaching them. Because when they are young, they will go through several phases in their life. They might go to different schools. And they might make different friends. And sadly not all friends or other kids they meet will be decent good people with good intentions. Because this turning someone to the dark side. And narcissists enjoying it. There are kids out there sadly doing this to other kids. They get their new so-called friend to do all of these horrible things. From stealing at the store, up to joining a gang. Because they want to see someone that has love in their life give up that gift because the one that is doing the turning, doesn't have it in their life as well. So teaching and showing your children what empathy is about and why it's something healthy to be connected to. And also, how fake friends will use your empathy you have for them to get you to stick around in a friendship you have no business being in. All with the stated purpose to get them to lose their empathy. So look for anything that shows lack of empathy. And work in a natural and organic way to help them being connected to it. And the sooner and earlier you do this, the better shot you have at getting them to turn into someone great. Because here's the thing. The same sadly can be said for someone turning into a narcissist. Because narcissist parents start on them young. And sadly what starts out as this child making bad choices as a defense mechanism. Just to get the fake love from their parents. Or to survive living with their parents. It can eventually and usually does eventually becomes a fixed state when they are an adult. To where even the best psychologist can't do anything with such a person. So much so, most refuse to see such a person because they deem them unhelpable. The sad part about all this is, the family unit is destroyed. And if there were a decent parent out of both of the parents, it's usually that good parent that is purposely excluded from their child's life so they either grow up to become a doormat or a narcissist. Because they are getting no help. And again that's why this type of education is so important. And helping channels like this grow. When channels like this get to a few 100,000 subscribers and getting millions of views per day, I think you will see the light bulb go on for many. And you will be able to see a big course correction in society. At least for those with an eye to see and an ear to hear. Because believe it or not, there are those that have those two things. They just don't know what to look for and what to listen for. So we must keep pushing and pushing. Every little bit helps. And so do your questions. Keep them coming. Well, that's all I have for today. Please share your thoughts below as always. With that said, I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time. Bye for now. And be good to yourself.